Hello, I'm Michelle Kotler, special education attorney, teacher, school administrator with 30 years of experience in special education. I wanted to come on YouTube today and talk to you about what your child's doctor won't tell you. Living in the United States of America, we tend in our culture, many of us, not all of us, but many of us tend to view our doctors as these all-knowing beings, almost supernatural, who have all the answers and all the knowledge. And we go to them and we rely on them to be able to tell us what's going on with our child and where to take our child for help, what we can do to support our child academically, what kinds of resources our child might need in school, and so on. Unfortunately, though, doctors have a very hard time admitting that they don't know everything. And we live in a world of specialization. Specialization is when someone works in a very narrow, specific field known as a specialty. And there are definitely advantages to specialization. So, for example, I recently injured my foot. I tore tendons in my foot and ankle, and I went to a foot specialist. I went to a podiatrist who specializes in the foot and ankle. If I needed to have open heart surgery someday, God forbid, if I ever need that, I'm not going to the foot and ankle doctor for that. I'm going to the cardiologist who has done 1,000 open heart surgeries, like the kind that I need, right? So I want to go to a specialist in certain circumstances. The problem is that there are two kinds of specialists that your child needs to see that their pediatrician will never tell you about. If your child is struggling in school, they may be one of the millions of kids who suffer in silence from a hidden disability that no doctor really knows about. And this is a considerable problem because unless you stumble upon the information in some other way, your child is going to struggle and suffer in silence forever. Even if they're diagnosed with another condition like ADHD or dyslexia or some other kind of learning disability or an emotional problem like anxiety or depression, chances are quite high that what they really have is one or both of these hidden disabilities that have never been diagnosed or that may have even been misdiagnosed as something else entirely. The good news is that once you know what specialist to take your child to, these conditions are highly treatable and fixable without medicine or surgery. And once you get to the root of the problem and fix it, your child's academic success will soar like never before. And I've seen this happen even in my own child. So I know that it is the case. However, unless and until you actually do get to the bottom of it, if it is one of these two problems or perhaps both of them, your child's going to struggle and suffer regardless of any other kind of educational intervention that you try or that the school tries. Because frankly, until you fix the root of the problem, you're just putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound, and that's not going to work. This is why I've created a mini course that you can complete in 2 hours or less called Why Smart Kids Struggle. It's Not What You Think. The link to the course is below this video. And it's life-changing for your child and also for you because you will go from feeling frustrated, anxious, overwhelmed, not able to help your child, feeling helpless, maybe even feeling like a failure as a parent, to being the champion who takes your child to the right doctors finally and gets them the help that they actually need to be able to access their education so that the educational interventions that you put in place and that the school puts in place have a chance to finally work. And that's really what this is all about. This is really what your child needs. And this is what you need to be able to sleep well at night, knowing that your child's finally on the path to success, which is what all well-meaning parents want. So the link to the mini course is below this video. It's located at parentsplaybook.org/struggle. Again, Why Smart Kids Struggle. It's Not What You Think. Will transform your child's life and yours in 2 hours or less. So thanks for watching.